Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fire Emblem, The Sacred Echoes, a Fire Emblem 8 ROM hack by FE2. I'm your host Pandan, and today we're going to continue on to Southern Zofia 2. So last time we saved... No, we didn't save Claire last time, but we got the Levin Sword, which is a really big deal. Because the Levin Sword's dope. Oh, this is a cool reimagining of like the field with 4 calves. Hilarious. Blast. I saw we'd have avoided the Watchmen on my way to collect you, Claire, but it seems they've prepared for my return. We'll need to take this fort. I think that's a splendid idea, Fernand. Lead the way. Alright. Oh, we get Fernand! A founder of the Deliverance who places pride above loyalty. We get to play with Fernand. I'm guessing he'll leave our party. Like how he leaves the Deliverance in the real game spoilers. Not having a Steel Bull user does kind of stink, but it's okay. I guess this is my punishment for not going Archer. Tobin better be getting Excalibur soon. Alright, Levin Sword, Cliff is gonna just like dominate. Okay, got some door keys in there, which are nice. Yeah, let's see. How does 1177, 1065? Yeah, like Fernand just completely outclasses Gray. This is one of the reasons why I think Cav Gray is not a great choice, but I loved the palette, and rescue drop strats can be useful. Gaiden's not really a game that I feel like just the nature of Gaiden design doesn't really reward you for playing fast. And if because I have Peg Faye, then I can just do the zoopity zoop. I think we'll be fine. What is this guy packing? A bow. Alright, we got lots of calves. Having this ballista guy here is spooky, but I like it. I think we're just gonna instead do this. Yeah. I think I'll send my flyers up to get the village. Oh dear, those brutish brigands taking advantage of a battle to hassle those innocent villagers. They're hired goons. To say has no qualms with hiring the lowest of ruffians to sow chaos and demand tribute. Clearly, the knightly thing to do would be to warn the villagers and drive off the bandits, and I shall gladly volunteer, as flying over the river would make this a trivial feat. You may be your brother's sister, Claire, but you're still a tenderfoot. Did you not notice that ballistician? Ooh, look at this. Tutorials. Eagerly eyeing some winged bait for his bolt. It's too dear a risk for a mere ploy of diversion from the true enemy. You mustn't wager your life or your mount on it. You didn't treat me like such a child, Fernand. I'm quite sure I could find a way to arrive there in one piece. Grr, Claire, that's an order. Are you listening? I love the way Fernand's written. Gamma, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard grumblings that you are a big Fernand fan, which I respect. Okay, let's see. Axe time. I'm curious how much damage Faye takes from the ballista. I'm worried about Claire. Claire's kind of hard to use, but she does have good speed. And this guy's got tons of range too. I have to defeat everyone. This is a route map? Oh boy. I don't know if I agree with the route being the right objective here, but we'll see how this goes. No, I do not want to quit. I am not a quitter. Okay. Luke is just using the axe. And this coffee's good today. Luck and defense. Okay, here come the calves. Okay, it's only doing 7 damage. Faye's got this. What bandits? Well, thank you for warning us. We'll close the gates. Storch's dad's here. And to say his men too. Well, I don't care much for whatever petty horse plot the nobility are fighting about, but you've done us a favor. The least I can do is give you this lance for your trouble. A steel lance, neato. Alright, so... Come at me, fools. Alright, let's see. Oh, okay, so we can... I have some ideas here. Getting rid of the ballista, I think... Actually, I don't think the ballista is nearly as big of a threat as just, like, clearing out these guys. So we're gonna do this, and we'll do the ballista next turn. So when I play OG Gaiden, or, rather, when I played Shadows of Valentia, the strat I would use most often, it was just, like, just trade chain the Levin Sword around to literally everyone. Okay. What is this guy packing? Iron bow. These bow users, man, gotta be mindful. I love how careful I need to be with positioning because of that. Even if they're not super scary, just like avoiding the damage. Cantha on the forest. Playing the bait game. Good stuff. Okay. That's right. That's right. Get out. Little water walk. Levin sword action. Dude, the Levin sword's dope. Skill and speed. Can you tee this up for... No, you could just straight up one round. Watch out, Lucas. It's out of control. This map feels much easier than the last two have. I don't know if I've just significantly gotten better at Fire Emblem over the past couple minutes, but... There we go, Claire. Do I take the disadvantage on the hit for big damage? Yes. We're just gonna let Faye tank. Ooh, Faye. There we go. Okay. Let's do some animations. We'll show off Fernand. It's a nice palette. I like the green a lot. Fernand, I think, was like a pretty good ad. Like, I like how with... I think with, just like the way Intelligence Systems has approached remakes, I like that. I think with Shadows of Valentia, I think they did a lot of things right in the sense that they didn't really stray too much from, like, the core gameplay of, like, what made the original, but they did a lot to just flesh things out. And I don't really mind them adding new characters like Faye and Fernand and Berkut and all of these. Like, I think a lot of people would probably agree with me when I say I don't love the way, like, the story with Berkut ended. But I think Berkut was still a good foil to Alm and just, like, helped flesh out the world and the dynamics a little bit more. I love the way they went about, like, writing the characters and just taking, like, these nothing characters who, like, barely had anything going on in the original game and just gave them, like, a ton of life, which is really cool. I think it's a better approach than, like, how they did FE12, for example, which was, like, I think much more of, like, a gameplay overhaul with, like, the reclassing and all of that. And that's not to say FE12 is a bad remake, but I think the way they did this one, honestly, this is just so much better writing-wise because it doesn't have Chris. Like, thank God that, like, one of the villagers isn't, like, a self-insert, and we just got Faye instead. I think that's one of the reasons why I like Faye so much more than, like, a lot of other characters. Like, wow, we could have gotten someone way worse in that villager slot, and we got Faye. Like, this is great. Like, imagine if Faye was just, like, an avatar. And this game came out recently, too. It's not like it's old, and, like, IS didn't know anything about avatars. Like, they actively chose not to put in an avatar, which was a smart choice. There we go. Some Thunder Sword. You know, so I'd argue in some cases they stayed a little too close to the source material, like map-wise, but I think that's fine. That's why Sacred Echoes exists, to take the good things about both the games and then make them better. Like, this definitely, so far, like, my overall opinion is that this game is just, like, way more accessible. Like, if you're a Fire Emblem player who's, like, into, like, the more traditional stuff, or not necessarily the more traditional stuff, but, like, let's see, can Tobin snag this? Yes. If you're a Fire Emblem fan who's not familiar with Gaiden and how it plays, I'd argue that Gaiden can be a little intimidating to get into because it's just so different, and the maps can be really off-putting because, ooh, that's a good level. Because they're so different. Excalibur, nice. Because they're so different from how, like, more modern Fire Emblem approaches its map design and just the way that the game is played. So, like, Gaiden and Echoes can feel just, like, a little strange to get into. And I think that, this is just, like, I think because it's on the superior GBA engine, it's just so much easier to get into. It's faster. It's, like, feeling familiar. And it, like, really captures the feel gameplay-wise, too. Like, this definitely, like Gamma's done an excellent job of really recreating Gaiden. And whether that's just a question of, like, straight up copying numbers and systems and whatnot, like, should not downplay, like, the technical feat of that. Let's see. 11 Sword is so good. So, like, so far I'm having a great time. Like, this game, I don't want to say, like, right now I feel like I don't have a reason to return to Gaiden. Like, obviously Gaiden is finished and this one isn't. But, like, there are times for me, like, I'll be completely transparent when I say that, like, Gaiden is not my favorite Fire Emblem by any stretch of the imagination. I would probably put, like, SOV and Gaiden kind of, like, right around, like, the middle of my favorite Fire Emblems of all time. But once in a while I got, like, a craving to go back to it because it's just such a different kind of experience. Alright, so trade. Cool animation, man. Alright, we're gonna have to rescue you out of there. Give him the Iron Lance, Lucas. Can Faye snag? Or maybe we do a trade strat. I think I know what I want to do. Faye cannot snag. So, Claire. Rescue. Let's see, will this work? Yes! Acantha! Thunderblade Thief. No! You were supposed to level. That was fun. Night watch again, Clive. You really should try to sleep, Fernand. And you really should delegate the watch to less critical personnel. Everyone in turn, of course. We're so short-staffed that you must take the watch 3 nights in a row. Make that Python fellow do it, if he's out at the taverns until daybreak otherwise. Be blunt, I'm occupying my newfound waking hours because I can't rest easy when I know your mind is back in the ashes of your estate. Don't presume to know what I'm. Your temper always burns hot and short when you're hurting, Fernand. I suppose I'm the only one fool enough not to turn back from the flames. Clive, you daft man. I can still hear it sometimes. Paint the carpets blue with their blood. The crackling of the blaze, peeling the hardwood walls like candle wax, roast them like pigs and take back what's ours. I think this is like DLC stuff. They took it all, our silver, our dignity, our home. Feast on the rich, not their riches. And all that was left was there to take with their lives. Fernand, you're here now. I'm here. Stay with me. I am tired, dear Clive. So very, very tired. I want things the way they used to be. I know this, Fernand. No matter what comes, you'll always be my sworn brother. We'll fight together, and this too shall pass. I think it should be this comma 2 shall pass. Disable fall. I only ask for your patience a little longer. Fernand, no sleeping on night watch now. Claire, my, you certainly gave me a fright. And an enemy soldier would have been given a much bigger one. As a deputy commander, I thought you'd know this very basic fact. Really, of all the people I suspect to be short-circuiting night watch, you'd be the last I'd... Don't you think I know that? Fernando, it's this place, isn't it? Your manner was... Leave me be, Claire. Tell the men that we're marching at dawn. Sigh. It really is like treading upon eggshells around him lately. Poor Fernand. He's got so much trauma. I also like that this ending scene just talks about Fernand and like skips all like the Alm stuff. I love when games just like feature the side characters. Good chapter. Good reimagining of what I assume was like the big open field with 4 calves. The ballista's a really nice addition. It's easy enough to take care of, but it's still kind of something you need to plan around. I like the kind of push and pull with like going for the village. Route actually wasn't too bad. You know why? Because the brigands charged. The enemies move towards me makes route maps work so much better. Like that's just such a much smoother type of gameplay experience when the enemies are charging at you in some way. So I really liked that one. What else would I say about it? Not really too much. Thunderblade, like it got a lot easier. Like very suddenly the gate, like that map felt much easier than the past 2. I don't know if it's like the shortage of archers or just like less tight spaces, taking on fewer enemies at once, but like that map definitely felt easier than the past 2 have. I don't know how much of it is like terrain and stuff like that playing into a role, like being in an open field with my dudes versus assaulting them in like a fort or a castle or something like that. So something to consider with just difficulty in general. It's just a little uneven, but it was still a good map and it was fast. I like how fast these maps are. I like quick, snappy maps. Like getting them, knocking them out in like 15, 30 minutes. Like this is good. For me at least. I like these like reimaginings of the maps and they're faster to play. I love the emphasis on Fernand. I think if you didn't pay for the DLC or play it, you miss out on a lot, if I'm not mistaken. And please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But Fernand's like characterization in the base game is not as strong as it could be. He just kind of comes across as a dick. But I like how the way you've redone it, Gamma, is you show that he's a jerk. They allude to why he's a jerk. You show a flashback scene where Clive kind of addresses it much more head-on, and Fernand recounts his own horrors and his trauma. And he does so eloquently, too. It's so excellently written. I love the way Fernand's dialogue was written in that scene. This is really, really well done. I don't know how much of that is your reimagining of it, Gamma, or if it's just a straight rip, but either way, choosing where you place those scenes in the context of the main story is a skill in of itself. So kudos to you for that. Trying to think what else there. Yeah, the Clive Fernand dynamic is one that I would love to see explored more. I've never played the DLC for Echoes, so I'm not as familiar with it. I've seen some footage of it, but I haven't really paid close attention to it, so I'm looking forward to getting those bits here. In the comments, you'll need to keep me honest if it's stuff that Gamma wrote net new, or if it's just stuff from the DLC ripped. But either way, again, just kind of going back to accessibility, like having this game in GBA reimagined so that it's easier to play and get into, taking advantage of some of the cool parts of the GBA engine. It looks gorgeous. It's very smooth to play. Like as I'm playing, it's like I really do feel like I'm playing a vanilla entry. And I mean that in the most flattering way possible. Like there's very little like jankiness about this so far. So kudos to you, man. This is great. Trying to think what else to say about that map. Yeah, just watch out for the difficulty. I feel like the ballista should be scarier than like 30 hit and 7 attack on Claire, but I don't know what you could do to fix that. I'm not sure like how your system has like impacted the effectiveness and things like that. So your call. Because after seeing how much damage it did, it was really a non-factor. But anyway, that was the Deliverance. I'll see you guys next time for whatever comes next. So let's see. That'll be the Usurper. All right. So guys, my name is Pandan. This has been The Sacred Echoes by hypergammaspaces, a Fire Emblem 8 ROM hack, and I'll see you next time. Be safe.